So guys, I'm glad I'm back. So just open up your Android Studio and let's proceed from where we last stopped. So the last time we were here, we tried to run the project, and yeah, it had an error in the sign up activity, and this is what we're going to resolve today. So normally most developers, or okay, a developer in Android Studio, uh, you always find these errors in the logs. So first of all, when you get an error, the place that you run to is the logs. So the logs is a place where most of the errors are normally written, or maybe any activity in the Android Studio or the application is normally logged inside here. So we're going to use this tool to see where our error is. So let's just run it again and see. Okay, it's not written yet. Okay, so there is the error. It's here. So anything that is in red, definitely that's the error, definitely. So let me see what the error is about. So I'm told here that in the project levels activity sign up, we already have an edit text and we can only have one. So let's see the link to this sign up activity. Okay, so let's just go to the XML file and see. So there must be something wrong with the edit text, with the text input layouts. There is one text input layout that contains two edit texts. So without doubt, then this is the one. I can see that there's an edit text here and another edit text here. So let me just remove one of these. Yeah. Then I try rerunning the app. So it's loading. Let's just wait and see. So this is what's supposed to give you. So you're going to make this a button. Sorry, this one. It's supposed to be a button. Come on, let's just write it afresh. Button. Match parent, wrap content. Then the text is simply sign up title. Then of course I give it a margin top of 16 dp, that is margin max. Right, and that should be that. So this thing is ready. So let's just save everything, then run the application. So definitely the point to always go to when you have an error is, first of all, you see the logs. The logs normally indicate where exactly you've made an error. So let's try it again. And as you can see, there's something wrong we've done, and it's the match parent, supposed to be wrap content. and this match parent row content. So I'm trying to resolve this in okay. What I've realized is that we do not have a text input edit text. So I'm going to copy one and place it inside here. Okay, we should be set. So let's just save the project and run it again. Okay, so everything is now perfectly done, and it also scrolls. So that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, so another thing is we're also going to remove this blue status bar color here and replace it with white, and also the navigation bar color we replace it with white also. Now the way to do that we can just go to the styles, res, values, and styles, and there's this theme that I used for login. And manifest file, we look up the sign up activity. It's here, and it doesn't have a theme so far, so you can just give it a theme. Just like that, and things should be fine. Then we can just go ahead and save the project. Okay, one more thing that we are supposed to do, and the main activity, once we click on the sign in, it's supposed to open a new activity. So one thing that I would like us to send to that activity is the name. Yeah, is to send some data to that activity. But first of all, let's just run this project and find out. So it's finished. So when you click on sign in, yeah, it's supposed to open this activity, and that's what it does. So as you can see, the theme here just managed to change. Everything has just changed to white, even the navigation bar. And we can go back. So I'm going to send some data from this activity to the home activity. So this is activity that we're opening once we log in. So we're going to create an intent object. Yeah, just like that. Now once we get this, we are assuming that let's just create a string variable. Private string, let's say the email. Let's just call it user email. So once we receive this intent in this activity, you're going to we're going to insert the email, then we display it to this activity. So we'll just use the intent. Yeah, so mind you, I've not actually included this in the main activity. So that means once you run this project, it's not going to bring anything. But first of all, before we continue, we are supposed to have a text view in the XML file of the home activity that will display this this email. So let's just open the layout file for the home activity. Then here, let's just use a simple layout, like a linear layout. Then we'll have a text view of wrap content. Then use the text color. Color black. And text size, you're going to use a very huge text size, at most 24 sp. And I'm going to use center. Yeah, so in case it comes, then we'll just see it at the center. So let me just get rid of this and go back to the main activity. So it normally happens here. So we are going to add so in the activity main XML, we're having two edit texts. One is the email address and the other one is the password edit text. Now what we want is this, it's the email address, and already it has an ID. So we're going to be looking for this email address edit text. So it's already here. So what we'll do is we'll just put this in a string email is equals to email, then we get text, then to string. Now once we do this, we'll be able to send this object to this activity, to the home activity. Now I want to modify this this statement. Let me just get rid of this and use an intent. So what I've done is just I've just written an intent object. I'm going to put extra email, then I'm going to send email. I'm getting this wrong almost all the time. Okay, so I'm going to send the email there, and then I start the activity. I'll start the activity here, my intent, but and then we must also modify this. So we're going to add here main activity, this is a context as a parameter, and then here comes the other activity that we want to open, and this is a class. Now once we do this, we'll be able to catch we'll be able to open the new activity. Now under home activity main, since we already we have captured the email, now we are going to display it in the text view that we had just created. So private, so you're going to call it email text view. So let's just go back to the XML file, then we give it a name, an ID, call it the email text view. So so the error should disappear. And once we do that, we check if the intent is empty, then if intent, so if it's not null, then we set the text view yes, and this should give us some better results. Now one thing that I would like to do in the home activity is add a toolbar. App title, let's call it a dashboard. And we give it an Android elevation of up to 4 dp. So there's one thing here that we're supposed to add, and that's the orientation. And that's the suggestion. So the orientation here is supposed to be vertical, so that we do not confuse the Android system. Okay, now once we've done that, we can just save and run the project. So what we expect is that once you've written your email address and your password, then you sign in, then the email address is supposed to be indicated in this text view, and that's what you're expecting. And the toolbar, this is a tool that I will explain later, that is normally used for adding menus and showing a title of your current activity. Okay, so our project is ready. So let me just write some random email, then input here a password. It's not good that you see this password, so let me just hide it. This is just mine and for me only. So this is what we're expecting to go into the next activity. So as you can see, That's exactly what happened.